presenting the acceptance and looking at our situation in the best realistic manner that we can do. And you have all these beliefs. How long have you been here? Going on 500 years. You have all these beliefs. Is your life and has your situation changed? You have tried education. You have tried Islam. You have tried Christianity. You have tried money. You have tried having land. You have tried all these different things. But you have not tried the acceptance of your reality, nor have you brought attention to and put on the table 1000% revolution. And you can't have 1000% revolution until you have 1000% liberation of the mind, because once you become liberated physically, then what you're going to do? Go back to your fantasy and your fictional nonsense? You might as well stay a good, comfortable slave like what you are right now. You don't deserve to be free. That's why you are not. You're not taking the appropriate steps, nor do you have the appropriate mentality to be free. You are nothing but a chocolate-covered version of your oppressor. Whether you holler black power or you say, God bless America, it don't make any difference. The Realities Temple on Earth ministry. I want you to focus on the acceptance of our reality. Facts. That which makes common sense. Logic. That which can hold up under scrutiny. Everything that I say here must be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Everything that I represent here and present here must be able to deal with and handle being under scrutiny. There are those of whom I have said things where I already knew that, I knew I was on shaky ground, and I have no problem with being corrected. Because when I am corrected and somebody points me in the direction that is right, I can only get stronger. So you only get more angry at me, because next time I don't have that error, I don't have that flaw on my plate. I can only get stronger. And you get more upset being frustrated. That's your personal problem. With that said, though, like I said, we're just being casual. I want to talk about real quick about this thing that we have about evolution. What is my position on evolution? Brother, where did we come from? I know we didn't come from no monkey. My position is, who gives a care? What difference do it make? Y'all so worried about where you come from. Why would a person that behaved like niggas, that was turned into a nigga, why would you have so much concern and still act like and behave like niggas? You really have not changed, except you learn how to say, Black Power family. We are the melanated people. That's the only difference. You're still a nigga. Matter of fact, some of them still call themselves nigga with pride. No, brother. See, nigga comes from nigga, niggas, and all this other. You try to explain the thing to it. Oh, okay, brother, you a nigga. Okay, I got it. And you worried about whether or not you came from a monkey or not. What difference do it make? It makes no difference. What is factual and what is clear is that we all begin and evolve in a sack of fluid some may call some kind of form of water. And as you are forming, because you were two separate cells, and these cells came together and they divided, as you begin to form, you look more like some kind of fish. But so what? I know that we didn't evolve from no monkey. The reason why you have a problem with the monkey thing is because crackers, these racists, have called us monkeys and gorillas and all like that. But the reality is, we might have evolved from monkeys and gorillas. Who knows? Who cares? It makes no difference. Here you are, you worried about whether you came from a monkey or not. Go back a few years. I don't know how old you are, but go back a few years when you were an infant and you could not even take care of yourself. You have animals, as soon as they are born, they can take care of themselves. A deer can do it. A deer can be born and in a few hours get up and run. You can't do that. God of the universe, because y'all claim that you're God of the universe. You God of the universe and can't even change your own diaper. Wow. That's amazing. But you God of the universe. A chicken can come right out of an egg and take care of itself. Don't need a parent or nothing. Come straight out the egg. Can you do it? No, you can't do that. You lay around as a baby. You can't take care of yourself. You can't do nothing at all. And you worried about, I didn't come from no, okay, you was a baby. We know that for a fact. A monkey can take care of itself. If we came from a monkey, if that's where you started off from, you evolved from a monkey. Monkeys already evolved from that. The things that you guys argue and debate about is petty. And really, the subject matter is better dealt with scientists, archaeologists, or whomever. Here you are, just an ordinary person. Some of y'all probably graduated high school, and you arguing, where did you come? Who cares? You couldn't even pay your light bill last week. You don't even know who your parents are, your grandparents, great grandparents. You don't even know those things, but yet and still you know where people evolved from. I could care less. Well, who made us? Who created? Who cares? There are some things that is not meant for you to know. There are people who lived 5,000 years ago. It was not meant for them to know about a computer. If you could go back in time and bring them your laptop, your computer, they'll look at you. They have no concept of that. It was not meant for them to know about it. There are a lot of things it's not meant for us to know. Maybe as time goes on, the human being, the technology, or however, it may reveal itself. So we want to make up stuff. One thing is for sure. There is nothing that is born whole. Everything starts in a micro world and evolves and matures to what it becomes in its adult form. So if you didn't come from a monkey, you didn't come from a fish, where did you come from? You were just born whole. Well, you see, God, okay, here we go. See, God took some dirt and formed it like clay, and God breathed the breath of life. Yeah, okay, whatever. Can you prove that? No, that's what you believe. Okay. But nothing on this planet you see, everything comes from a sperm and egg coming together, and then it evolves. That's what you see. That's what we see. You should have more of a concern with loving your people, loving humanity itself. No matter what has been done, we should be interested in bringing peace. Everybody talks about, I represent peace. Islam is peace. Christianity is peace. Jesus teaches peace. All this. And all this. But so where's the love at? Why is that man homeless on the street? Why is that woman getting beat up by her husband? Why are these children in an orphanage? Because nobody wants them. Nobody want to adopt them. There's a problem you have here, and you worried about whether or not you came from a monkey or not? Makes no sense. But then in this world, nothing makes sense because it's filled with those who have gone insane. It makes no sense to debate and argue for hours about something nobody really knows about. It's dumb. I'm not going to waste my time. Where did we come from? There's no, I mean, who cares? An eagle does not care. The only thing the eagle knows that I'm here and I got to survive. That's all life is concerned about. Am I going to live or am I going to die? They could care less where they came from. Only Negroes who don't want to deal with the reality that they are still nothing but slaves. Entertainment for their fictional world. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. Like Don Cornelius always say, until next time, y'all, love, peace, and you can't touch this. Is it hammer time? Yes, it is. You can't touch this. Why? Because you've come to the house of the realities temple on earth, the house of real truth. I am your brother and your friend, soul brother, number one, Angel Snub 7. And I just want to be casual today for these few moments and just a rant video. I've made a few rant videos today, probably put them all together as one. Y'all are probably looking at a 15-minute version, individuals. However you're watching this video, let me tell you something. I really appreciate your view. I really appreciate that you would give me the honor, the opportunity to talk to us. It is an honor. And I respect all forms of thought. I do not get angry when you disagree with me. And that's the way it should be. But you have so many people, matter of fact, that's my subject. That's the topic of this brief few minutes that I have with us. That's the topic that I've chosen for these few minutes. I want to make something very clear. Everybody is not like this, but I'm going to tell you. And y'all know I am speaking the truth. There are so many who are like this. And they have this behavior. They have this mentality. And in their mind, they really think they are going to be successful. Yes, you are going to be successful getting your ass kicked. Yeah, you will be successful probably getting shot. That's what you're going to be successful doing. But as far as the liberation of a people, until you work on yourself, that's not going to happen. Especially the way that you are going about doing things. It's not going to happen. You cannot control your temper. Your temper. You're so angry. And you get so upset because somebody rejects what you talk about, or shows you cannot accept the truth about what you believe. So you get angry at the one who points these things out. So pathetic and pitiful. At the same time, you are God. I'm a king. I'm a queen. A queen of what? A king of what? A God that has no power? A king and a queen that have no nation to rule? You don't control your neighborhood. You don't control your town, city. You don't. Just a bunch of crap they be talking all the time. And then when you bring this up, they get so angry and mad. That mental illness, that's a personal problem. This is why I always say dark Europeans are strange, confused, and dangerous, because these people, not only will they threaten you, but history shows that they will murder black people. The people they claim, oh, I love black people so much. I love my melanin. And they will take a gun or a knife and stab the melanin and shoot the melanin to death. Bunch of fakes and hypocrites. Y'all, you know what I'm saying is true. That's not everybody. But I'm very sure many of you have experienced these idiots. Speaking of an idiot, there was somebody who had the nerve to come to my page, make a video of your own, put your negative crap on your own page, or go somewhere, go to a video or somewhere where somebody don't like me. They'll be happy for you to say negative things about me. Fine and dandy. But sometimes, I really don't trip off folks and what they write. Most of them don't even really believe what they're talking about anyway. Y'all have a childish mentality. You really don't believe in nothing. You're just going through the paces because, like in the Quran talks about that this God tests you. I guarantee you, when you are tested, you will fail. These people really don't believe in nothing. I don't eat pork. Now, I don't eat pork. I've seen some of these pro-black, man, I'm just skipping. Let me go back to what this person said real quick. Don't listen to Angel Snuffing Up 7. Now here they are. Clearly they must be listening, but they don't want nobody else to give me a listen. But don't listen to Angel Snuffing Up 7. He is not part of the black conscious community, and they reject him. Well, I don't know if that's a true statement or not. I know some of the big boys, a lot of the popular guys, a lot of them are very smart. They remain silent about me. And see, that's the best way to be. Just be silent. Just be neutral. Have nothing to do with me. Don't say nothing about me. And just go on and keep doing what you're doing. That's very smart and that's very wise. But there are many people in the so-called black community group. There is no black conscious community. Community means to commune. And there is no commune and there is no communication among these who are supposed to be part of the black conscious community, because if it was, there would be some type of structure that everybody is based and rooted in, and there is none. This group is doing their thing. That group is just believe and do their thing. It's all divided. A community is not divided. A community is together. But anyway, they claim that the black conscious community does not recognize me or whatever, and that's fine and dandy. I could care less, but that's a lie, because there are many pro-black, Afrocentric, black conscious type people who do listen to this ministry and who accept me as part of their community, regardless. Who made you a spokesman for the black conscious people anyway? Who are you? Now, mind you, the majority of these people, before they got mad at me, before they got angry at me and upset, they also was a listener of the Reality's Tip on Earth ministry. They also was in support of 1000% liberation of the mind. I don't know you. You know me. I did not come to your video. You came to me. The majority of these people. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know nothing about them at all. But it just goes to show you how silly, infantile, childish many of these who are in the black conscious community really are. And very, very hypocritical. They say one thing and do another. Like I was saying about the pork thing. Brother, you need to leave that pork alone. I don't eat pork. I have caught many, not many, but a few of these black, pro-black, Afrocentric, whatever they're supposed to be. I've seen them talk about, I don't eat pork. And I have seen them chow down on a pepperoni pizza and pork chops and whatever, some type of pork product. And then you ask them, I thought you told me that you don't eat pork. And they just look at you like you're crazy. You said that. I did not say that. You said, I do not eat pork. So I don't expect to see you eating pork. Then when people see that you eating pork, you want to get mad at me. You the one got the pig foot in your mouth. I didn't put the pig foot in your mouth. What you getting angry at me for? You the liar. You the hypocrite, not me. I didn't make no claim. Now, my own personal position is I do not eat pork. I've never really been a pork eater anyway. I don't really care too much for the flesh of pork, pigs and hogs anyway. I really don't care anyway. But if I wanted to eat it, I'll do it. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to tell you I don't eat pork. And then especially if you get in a situation where you're starving to death, I don't eat no pork. Well, if you don't eat no pork, then you're going to die. See, this is where the test of your faith. Now, there are people, they would rather die and they would starve to death before eating pork. Most of these people, they weak. They don't have no discipline. They're going to eat the hell out of a ham sandwich. Y'all don't want to hear that. Y'all so fake, weak. You don't have no discipline and pathetic. And they are pro-black. And you do know that the enemy uses sex, drugs, and alcohol to make the people, and religion, to make the people docile so they can keep the people under control. And a lot of these old pro-black folks, they smoke weed, they do drugs, they drink alcohol, and everything else under the sun. But then they come to YouTube and social media with this self-righteous type of attitude. It really makes you laugh. Then somebody like me, who I'm not going to claim all these different things, but I'm more of a Christian, I'm more of a Muslim, I'm more of a Hebrew Israelite, I'm more I practice Ma'at more than all these suckers, a lot of these suckers put together. And I don't claim none of it. Bunch of hypocrites. They so fake. They are childish. When you disagree with what they're talking about and you show them the error and the flaw and what they believe and what they're talking about, they get so nasty. Okay, you love black folks. Oh, I love black. I just love the melanated people. I just love me some black people. But when them black people don't agree with the crap that you're talking about, then you want to cuss somebody out. You call them nigga. You vile, and you know. There's always a beef going on with the pro-black, black conscious people. Always some kind of beef. How am I going to always be in a constant flux? Is that the F-L-U-X? How am I going to be in that type of condition constantly all the time if I love black folks? I'm always arguing with another black person, beefing with somebody, telling them to suck your penis and kiss my backside and all this nonsense with people that you talk about that you love. It's very difficult for them to turn the other cheek, even if somebody is ignorant. Why don't you just, like the Jesus of the Bible, turn the other cheek? And then their mentality really is no better than racist. They are materialistic, greedy. Success is based on how much money you put in your pocket, how many houses and cars that you can accumulate. That's the same thing that the racists do. You're not no different from the racists. When they talk about Africa, Africa got gold, Africa got diamonds. They never talk about my love for the people. You can't talk about the love of the people because you don't know them at all, period. And they don't know you. And probably don't want to know you because they understand that y'all niggas. You ain't conscious of black, you conscious of being a nigga. Dark European trash. And other people see this. You don't fool nobody but yourself. And I'm realistic, and I'm going to bring it to you raw. I'm going to tell you the truth. So you don't want to hang around me. You want to hang with other people that promote your fiction and your fantasy. Here you are cussing everybody out, vile, and you're nasty, you're greedy, you're unrighteous, but you expect people to see you as some kind of righteous, loving person. If you are righteous and loving, I would say that about you. But if you act and behave like a beast, you act like a black devil, you're vile, profane, and you're nasty, you're a penis sucker, vagina licker, that's what I'm gonna call you exactly how I see it. So if you have a problem with a person telling you and showing you, calling you exactly what they see, this is not the place for you to be. Go to them people that lie to you and call you a king and a queen and a god, when in reality you ain't nothing but a nigga. Them the people you need to hang out with, a bunch of fakes. And I don't want to be a part of the black conscious community if black conscious represents hypocrisy and being a fraud and being materialistic, being just as racist as the oppressor is. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. This is your brother Angel Snub Number 7. This was and is the reality's temple on earth. Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am Angel Snub Number 7, that mighty one, and this is a rant video. Just being casual, just want to talk. What are we talking about today? Well, I'll tell you what we're talking about today. We are going to talk about the Nation of Islam. Oh no, here we go again. What do you have to say about the Nation of Islam this time? Well, you know, there's something called history. I am sharing my history with you. And the importance of history is that you learn from the good and the bad of another individual's journey or the journey of a people or nation. So I'm presenting to you my journey. Should you want to walk in my footsteps, that's your business. I am going to tell you my experience, and it is what I experienced, so you can't not tell me it is not true. I walked this. You did not. You can get upset if you want, but that's your personal problem. Some of us have to learn the hard way. Okay, now I want you to keep in mind there are two things that I was taught in the Nation of Islam under the leadership of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, of whom was not honorable when I joined the Nation of Islam in the early 80s. In fact, he told all of us, do not call me that. I'm going to say that again. Now, I don't know what has changed, but in the 1980s, he made very clear, I am just your brother. There was a 1982 edition of the Final Call called We Must First Be Brothers, and he took away all the titles, the honorable, the captain, the minister. He took all, we are just brothers. Something changed. I don't know what it is, but something changed. Now I'm the honorable Louis Farrakhan. When I joined the Nation of Islam, Louis Farrakhan had two broken down vehicles, a broken down, I think, Lincoln and a broken down Cadillac. He wore the same suits all the time. But now, you know, he lives, I think they're on Stony, I forgot what that's, Stony something, in Chicago, in the pink neighborhood. Living a pretty lavish lifestyle. What has changed since, what's the difference between the Louis Farrakhan that I knew of in the 1980s and this brand new one who has become honorable? Keep this in mind as I tell this story. There are two things that we are taught in the Nation of Islam. Well, actually three things. Part of it. Of course, you know we are taught, we are seeking equality. Equality. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. Keep this in mind now. Saying something and doing something are two different things. If a brother or sister have a bowl of bean soup, half of that soup belongs to me. Saying is one thing, doing is another. Because now I'm honorable, but I wasn't honorable back then. So in the 1980s, fresh out of high school, I'm still a teenager, 18 years old. I wanted to go to New York City so I can seek an entertainment career. I stayed with my relatives who were followers of Louis Farrakhan. I went to the temple, and I already had a love for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad coming from a child. So I decided, and I felt so good about wanting to be part of this movement that shown unity and pride and love among these who are descendants of slaves born in America, having dark skin. I wanted to be part of that. So I joined the Nation of Islam under the leadership of Louis Farrakhan, my brother. He was not the honorable then. Now this is the ironic thing. I want you to keep in mind, I want for my brother what I want for myself. Half of your bowl of bean soup belongs to me. Okay. You would think that my relatives, who were not only my biological relatives, but they were my brothers and sisters in the Nation of Islam. We were brothers and sisters in the belief in Allah. You would think they would have no problem wanting for your brother what you want for yourself. Half of your bowl of soup belongs to me. But to make a long story short, I wanted to stay in New York. I wanted to continue to help Louis Farrakhan, not the honorable, in New York City. But my relatives no longer wanted me in their house. And they paid for the plane ticket to send me back home because I came from St. Louis, Missouri. They paid for the ticket. I told them I wanted to stay and help the minister here in New York. I enjoyed what was going on here. They did not want me. I am their, not only their biological relative, but I am a follower of the man that they claim they believe in, Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They did not want to share their bowl of soup with me. With their brother in Islam, they did not want to share their bowl of soup with another believer. It's Islam and their biological relative. Excuse me, lost train of thought for a second. I thought you want for your brother what you want for yourself. This is what they suggested to me. Well, they don't want me in their home. Also, we are taught there may come a time when Muslims would have to move in with one another. Here I am again, your biological relative and a believer in the faith. You don't want me in your house. So if you don't want your biological relative in your house, how are you going to accept moving in and living with other brothers and sisters? See, this is hypocrisy. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. Half of your bean soup belongs to me. Saying it is one thing, doing it is another. And you did not see this behavior in the Nation of Islam at all. Everybody was doing their own thing. Because if everybody was able to live with one another, rent would be cheaper, food could be cheaper, your whole life would be easier because you had a whole lot of people that you're living with, interacting with, y'all could all help one another. But all these people were individuals. This one lived in their house, this one lived in their apartment. That's how they lived. They were not interested in living with another person of the faith. Hypocrisy, it's a bunch of lies. They told me, well, maybe you can go and stay at the homeless shelter till you get yourself together. Here I am, remember, I'm 18 years old. Never really had a job, fresh out of high school. Just learning, experiencing life. And they told me, my blood relatives, who were also followers of the same faith that I had now converted to, told me I can go to a homeless shelter. So now the story does not end. I told you about this behavior. Saying something is one thing, doing something is another. So I end up going back home to St. Louis, and I joined the St. Louis Temple, and my family was going through some changes, and I ended up homeless, but fortunately I was able to stay at the temple, and well, I did not have a bed. I slept in the basement of the temple on pickle barrels because they wanted rent. And I was not making enough income really to pay rent. So they allowed me to sleep in the basement, and I slept on top of pickle barrels. You want for your brother what you want for yourself. Would you want to sleep on pickle barrels in the basement? Nobody. Here I am, 18 years old, don't have a job really again. Was anybody sharing their bowl of soup with me? No. The ministers, the captains, and the lieutenants, everybody knew this young brother. Nobody came to help me at all. As long as I was able to sell pies and eggs and go out in the middle of the street and sell final card newspapers, I did good enough work. Every time you saw me, I still looked sharp. And I was able to bathe and things of this nature. But you want for your brother what you want for yourself. It was not only me, it was other brothers and probably sisters in the temple who wasn't doing that good. You had a lot of people that was in the temple who were on their jobs for years. I mean, they was doing pretty well. Nobody wanted to share their bowl of soup with us. And see, this is the thing. I'm telling you my story, and I'm very sure it still goes on today. There are brothers and there are sisters and who are not really doing that well. And you have brothers and sisters that's in the temple who doing quite well, but they do not want you in their house. Good luck, brother. Do your best. Goes back to equality. So there is no equality. There is no sharing of the bean soup. People are telling lies. I want for my brother what I want for myself, but won't help and you do not share. Even Louis Farrakhan himself lives, I was told that he's a millionaire worth at least $3 million. Who is he sharing this $3 million with? Certainly not the followers. In fact, he even brags talking about my followers take care of me. And some of your followers, I can guarantee some of them can barely pay their light bill or telephone bill or put gas in their car, but they are able to give you money and make you a millionaire, and they are taking care of you. What about the believers? Where is the equality? What is the I want for my brother, I want what I want for myself? Where is all this? This is why I have to talk the way that I do, because I don't like fakes. I don't like phonies. I don't like that. I don't like hypocrites. And a hypocrite is somebody who is pretending to be something they are not. I don't mind sharing, and have done it, sharing anything that I have with anybody, because that person means more to me than a car, than a house, or that bowl of bean soup. That don't mean nothing, because I love my brothers and I love my sisters. I don't mind sharing anything. And when people move in with one another, you should learn how to get along. Love should cause you to get along so that you can be brothers and sisters. But fakes and phonies, y'all want to be part of all that. Well, this ministry here, I do not represent that. We are going to be brothers and sisters. I want for my brother what I want for myself, and all the bowls of soup is going to be shared equally among everybody. I'm not going to be living the lavish life and my followers take care of me. Jot down your comments. Let's talk about it. As always, love, peace, and so. Scrutiny. And much of this that we embrace, it can't handle it. That's why y'all stay away from me, because I mess up your beautiful dream. I mess up your fantasy. Well, when you're sick and dying, you will see how real your fantasy is. You will be one of the many millions and billions of people who will go to their grave, no Jesus, no mothership, no nothing, no special powers and things, all this stuff that y'all talk about that you believe in. You will live and die like people have been doing for generations. Nothing special about your spirituality. There's nothing special about your religious dogma, because it's all fantasy. It's not real. I was taught by Elijah Muhammad that we live in a Barnum and Bailey world. And suffice to say, he was part of the Barnum and Bailey world, teaching fiction. a tribe of Shabazz, you have no proof existed. Yaqub, the big head scientist, no proof he existed or did anything. A mothership that is waiting in the sky to destroy America, it has yet to happen after 80 years, going on 100 years. But see, brothers and sisters, I'm not angry with you, and I don't get upset with you because we are an abused people. Study abuse. Study trauma. When people, even animals, but when people suffer extreme trauma, extreme exploitation, extreme abuse, one of the coping mechanisms that the person revolves around is they begin to make up a fantasy fictional world for them. Just like sometimes in children, you will see them, they don't play with other children. Other children treat them mean, so they create an invisible friend. God is your invisible friend. Whether that God is a man, you claim that God to be flesh and blood, or God is some mystery being, some alien in outer space. Whatever you call this God does not exist, just like that invisible friend of that child who cannot make friends, who is bullied, so they create this imaginary person to play with. Anyone that experienced trauma, exploitation, abuse, the coping mechanism is the creation of your own world that you live in. So that's why you have to say, I believe. The Hebrew Israelite doctrine, you got to believe. The Moorish Science Temple, you got to believe. Christianity, you got to believe. Islam, you got to believe. Even some of this political type stuff, although it is rooted or based in supposed to be historical fact, a lot of that stuff you have to believe because a lot of imaginary makeup stuff is taught within that curriculum. I want to talk today because we as the descendants of slaves born in America, we continue to, we really don't like the reality of things. So again, we are obsessed with fiction and fantasy. It's a coping mechanism. One of the most favorite coping mechanisms, beliefs that we, besides religion, is that so many of these who are the descendants of slaves born in America having dark skin, we are obsessed. We need to go back to Africa. I cannot say, I've never been in Africa. How am I going to go back to a place I've never been? Well, stop being silly, Negro. Your ancestors came from. There is no, you cannot prove. Maybe your ancestors came from that continent. And I am not ashamed if my ancestors are African. I'm not ashamed if my ancestors was Chinese. I am not ashamed if they was Caucasian. I could care less. I am dealing with what the reality, the cards I've been handed to, because it makes no difference where they came. What I have to deal with is where I'm at right now. So in the minds of many, and I see it all the time, they say it out of their mouth and they write it on Facebook and YouTube, got to go back to Africa. Africa is such a beautiful place. We got to go back to Africa. Don't let the devil fool you about Africa. Africa is a beautiful place and it's some type of utopia and it's wonderful, and at the same time, You have all kinds of Africans risking their life, getting on boats, trying to get to America. The whole thing don't make any sense. It don't make any sense because it's not real. If Africa is so great, if Africa is so wonderful, this utopia that you believe in, why are so many of the African people running over here? You're trying to or want to, well, you could go. See, many of these Negroes talk all this, let's go back to Africa. They are not really interested. They are not even going to be buried in Africa. They don't have no plans. Once they die, they have no plans. Cremate me or take my body and bury me in Africa. See, it's a coping mechanism for those who are abused. It's a beautiful story that you can tell. Just like the Quran, full of beautiful stories. The Bible, full of beautiful stories. That's all. It's a bunch of beautiful. Not to say there's no benefit, there's nothing good. There's no lessons to be learned. But we don't know how to just embrace the lesson, embrace what we can learn from, and push the rest of the stuff to the side. We don't know how to do that. So let's go to Africa. It's all about Africa. We're going to go to Africa and live. And we'll be happily ever after. Is that right? Well, Africa is 52 countries, at least 50 countries. Where are you planning on going? Because I'm telling you, and this is the reality of it, I'm very sure you can't go anywhere. They will probably kill you on sight. You think that because you're supposed to be an African, you think that you can just get on a plane and go to anywhere in Africa and they're supposed to love you. Wow, y'all live a fantasy. You have relatives. We're not even going to talk about Africa. You have relatives that was born with you in America that you know of. Some of your relatives have known you all your life. And if you wanted to talk about, I'm coming back home, your parents, you have your parents. I'm gonna come home and live. They'll look at you like you crazy. No, not here. You ain't coming to my house. I love you and everything, but no. You have your parents, you have relatives. They don't want you in their house. They don't want you to come. So why do you believe that these people of whom you are foreign to, you are foreign to them? You speak English and you act like a European. That's why I call us dark Europeans. I said us. That's right. You have the mind of your races. This is all that you know. You have no idea of any African customs or of anybody. And many of these Africans don't like other Africans. So you trying to be this particular African, and then this other African looking at you, they hate your guts because you're trying to be like something another African they don't like. See, we're not thinking without. And see, when you live in a fantasy world, everything works out right. It's happily ever after until the abuser slapped you out your head. Didn't I tell you to go get my dinner? Didn't I tell you to shine my shoes? Didn't I tell you to be quiet when you are getting sentenced for whatever charge? Then we wake up to reality. We wake up to reality in discrimination. You will wake up to reality. You go to Africa and you think that you're going to be treated like all lovey-dovey. Those people are not interested in you like that. They want your American dollar. They want whatever you are able to benefit with them, what they can take advantage. Ain't nobody, there's no, you live, this type of relationship has not even been created. They don't care nothing about you. And we continue to try to find the easy way out of things. And there is no easy way out. We must accept the reality of what we're dealing with. Africa cannot save you. The Europeans and the Chinese and everybody is raping. There's nothing that you can do about that. So what? And you want a piece of it too. So you're a rapist. You have no real love. All thing you talk about is the mineral wealth also. I want the diamonds and the gold and the resources. And those people on that continent hear you. They see what you're talking about. You are interested in the resources of that place. You're not actually talking about the love of the people. Because if you really love Africans, when they come here, they could live in your house. You would have to help them instead of the American government or whomever the Africans befriend in order to stay here. They could come to you and you would embrace them, but you don't. Y'all a bunch of hypocrites. That's why I always say dark Europeans are strange, confused, and dangerous people. You don't know what you want. You live in some kind of fantasy world, fictional world. And if you want to live in a fantasy world, then this is not the place to be. I don't care nothing about your subscriptions. I don't care nothing about your views. I care about those who can accept the reality of things and deal with the reality of life. I'm not interested in fantasy. Truth hurts, but it's better to accept the truth so that we can deal with a real situation than live in fantasy, because a fictional answer cannot solve a real problem. That's just the bottom line. You've been trying for 400 years. Jot down your comments, just like Don Cornelius used to say. Until next time, soul brothers and sisters, love, peace, and